Anyway, moving from another first, Sports Illustrated will feature for the first time a trans actress slash model, Lena Bloom, on their cover, and that's
By the way,
also
it was gorgeous. She was gorgeous. I
she's
saw
a
it.
gorgeous woman.
Yeah.
And now I will tell you my story
really
about
know-
her. So Lena was almost in stills, actually. The cover of Sports
Really?
Illustrated. When we were auditioning back in 2011 for the character of Rose is a trans woman, and myself, Gil, and Tia, who were the producers, were all very adamant to the fact that we need to have a trans woman play this part. We didn't want it to be inauthentic. So we were like, this is probably going to be the hardest role to find. So what I did was, and I don't remember how I found Lena at all, and I'm not just saying that, but like some people I found on Craigslist who were kind of like looking for love and whatnot, and I was like, I apologize, I'm not reaching out to you for this, but have you act this, that, and the other thing, because it was just hard to find trans actresses, but Lena submitted somehow, I forget how, and she came in, and it came down to, well, she came in and she's a model. Let's just put it that way. She was at the time did not have a lot of experience acting. So the character of Rose, very down to earth character, and in season 1 she has a fight with her brother, and so the first scene was like a very romantic scene with her boyfriend, and it's a lot of heartache and a lot of like conversation about their future, and so we're doing the scene with her. I forget if she read off of me or Gil the first time, and she's doing that very model thing where she's like, he's like, let us go. I will take you to Petra. We will go on vacation together. She says, really? To Petra? And it was all very, very like the model arched back. Everything had to be a pose. Everything was said very monotone, and it was
She's
kind of
using her skill set.
she was, and
Yeah, she was thinking novela.
and she
wants
was
to be
like,
a telenovela.
and at the end of the audition, she's like, I look forward to working with all of you. I nailed that. And she walks out, and it was
Good
like,
for her.
and she had the confidence, and everyone was like, I was like, all right, well, we're gonna call her back, and certain people were like, Shane, do not get distracted by that face, because that face is a 10,
It's
but I'm not
definitely
sure
your
she's,
type.
I'm not sure, yeah, right? And I'm like, they're like, I'm not sure she's right for the role. With the actress who ended up getting it, our friend Scarlett, she was perfect for the role. I mean, and so what I did, we called them both back, because I was like, listen, we only have it coming down to 2 people. Let's
You could
bring
have
them
unmodeled her
both in.
though,
Well, what I did was before the second audition was I was like, would you like to meet up and do some acting coaching? I'll work through the scene with you. We rented
We'll meet
not
at
a
the
hotel
spot,
room.
2 in the
No.
morning at
No,
the bar. I got you.
no,
I'll
no.
run
We
lines with you.
used to rent rooms for auditions and whatnot. Darius can tell you that. And so what we did,
You showed her some method acting. Is that what you showed her?
you auditioned for us too. You shut up. So anyway,
I met him in a public place. Which
well,
is
that
where
was to
I
discuss the
bartended.
role,
It's like-
but then you came in for the audition too.
Pepper
we
spray in
did
her
go
pocket.
okay, I don't want to talk about.
you
the
did
fact that I
audition,
was
audition.
At a hotel room at some point.
In a hotel room?
I didn't come
Yeah,
to a
no.
hotel room. I feel
The hotel
Yeah,
that we
dude.
all stayed at.
Oh, that was when there was like 26 of us.
For the
Darius, you were
audition?
there for that. The 26-hour day shoot. Remember where we did like the
that's what you're
bachelor party?
talking about.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's talking about that. Anyway,
Here,
and
you
actually,
can't do hotel
Oh,
and
That's not
audition.
good enough
All of
for
us-
you.
Tati went
all of a
home
sudden,
that night.
Everybody was at a hotel.
I slept on the floor next to Darius, and Tati went home that night, and then came back to shoot in the morning. So anyway, that's when she broke up with me in the story. So anyway, so I asked Lena to come back in, and she came in. We spent like 4 hours trying to like go through it and work on it and whatnot. And she took the notes, but ultimately, like when we were doing the callback scene, Scarlett for the fight scene is like throwing herself into the wall, falling down. She broke her finger. She was doing all these things, and Lena was like, she's
Broke her
coming to the,
finger in process of it.
yeah, she came in, Lena, doing for like the fight scene where she walks up and punches her brother. She walked up and went. And it it was just like, and it was like, and ultimately we had to, and I felt really bad because like she came in and she worked on it and whatnot. Like her ethic was there to do it. Like she gave it her all, and ultimately the role went to Scarlett. But so it was like I ran into the train. It was like awkward telling her that because I was just like, oh, I felt so bad. But I'm very happy. It's like I was a fan of Pose, and I was like, oh shit, that's that girl because I forgot her name. Like that's that girl like that came into audition for us, and so I'm very, very happy she's made it. Very, very happy for her. She's gorgeous and good for her.
If you could tell her something right now, what would it be?
Other than you making fun of her acting on this right now?
Listen, I make fun of everybody and everything on this show. She ain't no different.
True. You're just negging.
No, I mean, look, she like you said, she played to her strengths. It was a long ass time ago. A lot changes in 10 years. She was dedicated. She worked in her craft, and look at her now. She was on Pose. She's on the cover of Sports Illustrated. She's acting everywhere. Good for her, man. Kudos.
It's all
to you.
because of your coaching in that hotel room.
Has nothing to do with me. She probably doesn't even remember what the fuck happened back then, and I wouldn't blame her. But like,
That's how you'd like to keep it.
I mean,
White, you know.
shit.
I see a white.
Honestly, I just have a hard time with like, what's the point of ever? I get like now at times we have to tell people so that people get used to it, but I can't wait for it to just be like the sort of thing no one really talks about. It's just like,
Agreed.
she's
Agreed.
Where
beautiful.
it's just so
That's it.
normalized.
Agreed.
Yeah, I
Just,
can't.
like,
Yeah,
looking
I
at
can't
her,
wait for that
I-
time
I-
either.
I mean, her persistence paid off. Good for her. She kept at it, you know. and
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
It's nice
Absolutely.
to see success.
She
stories.
wasn't right for Rose,
Just
but she
imagine
came
if
in
you
and she
would've-
worked for it. So, you know.
Imagine if you would have hired her and you would have been her first big break. She wouldn't be here now. So good job.
She wouldn't remember my name even if we had hired her. She still would have made it, and she wouldn't have remembered our names anyway. So, because we've had a number of people who are on stills go on to a lot bigger things, and they're like, "Oh wait, what show?" So
Oh, really? Like even I don't want to call out.
some behind the scenes people, some in front of the camera people. They're all like, "Oh,
Terrace remembers you. Does Terrace never count? Does
no,
Terrace
don't.
never
I'm not.
count?
I'm not saying everyone. I'm saying certain people." Believe me,
Okay.
Darius knows how much I value him as a human being, and Tati too for like.
We paid $50 to get his shoes back from the man. Wife, he was trying to upskirt.
Yeah, no, believe me, I appreciate them. So good for her. God, Godspeed, Lena.